Hey everybody, Ryan FMG here, and today we are doing the last color in the set review for the new set TOA, and that is none other than black. And you know what? I've done the introduction a couple times, talking about how this is my first impression and, mispronouncing names and all that. Let's just go straight into the cards. So today we are starting off with one of the two black legendary units called Serpent Demon. This is 8 MP for 8/8. 8s across the board. All attack damage dealt by this unit becomes 0. All damage taken by this unit becomes 1. Attacking, deal damage equivalent to this unit's attack split among the enemy hero and all enemy units. After taking damage, -1 attack. Death, remove this unit from play. I like this card a lot. This card seems good. There's a whole story of text that goes along with this card. But base level, it is a 8 MP, 8/8, that rather than basically dealing attack damage, it deals its own attack. So right off the bat, it's 8. You can do some pump spells or something like that across the board. That could be so more efficient. You could just be fireballing the opponent left and right, or you could just be having board wipes left and right, which is fantastic. And then it takes so less damage because all damage taken by this unit just becomes 1, which is super, super small. So this is going to be a nightmare for your opponent to deal with outside of a hard removal spell. Yes, every time that this takes damage, this does get weaker with attack, but still, it's 8, so it has a lot of ways down to go. Even if this takes 3 sets of damage, it's 5 attack. It's throwing around 5 damage left and right. So overall, I think this card is pretty cool, pretty fun to play with, and I can't wait. And I just love the 8/8/8. Well, time to talk about another extremely good legendary, if not just better. This is Demon King. It is 4 MP for 2/5. Revenge, gain attack and HP equal to their respective values when this unit died. Kind of a weird revenge, but okay, this will be revenge of 2 MP for how much? Let's see. Ascend, gain +1/+1 a number of times equal to the attack of the unit destroyed by this unit's ascend. So if you ascend over a 3/3, this gets +3/+3. So it would be a 5/8. The revenge would be a 2 MP 5/8. This card is so good. Already, 4 MP for a 2/5, yes, those are not the great, but the ascend of just absorbing all the stats from the ascend fodder is fantastic. And revenge is such a powerful mechanic on top of a powerful card. I'm very excited to throw this in most black decks that just want any sort of revenge or just value unit. Spider Queen is up next. This is 7 MP for a 3/8 spirit. Death, place a random spirit unit with an MP cost of 5 or less in your graveyard onto the field. So we kind of talked a little bit about spirits so far in the new set because, right, it's one of the new tribes, and I've been a little bit down on them because it's okay, there doesn't seem to be a ton of spirits, but usually the spirit cards want other spirits. Spider Queen is no different. However, black does have more spirits, so let's just pretend like there's more spirits. Do you want to play a 7 MP 3/8? I don't know, 7 MP is a lot for those stats. Not saying that those stats are terrible, but give me more or just something else. The death effect is really good if you have a 5 or less spirit that you would like to get back from the graveyard. And it's also onto the field, not in your hand or EX pocket or anything. It's just onto the field. So yet again, kind of like what I said before, there's other good spirits. Maybe you are playing Spider Queen, even though I think that she is a little expensive. Mr. Miscutter, 3 MP for 1/5 with growth 6. So that's hefty, but hey, this is just a 3 MP play. You can net 10 MP, play this, play a 6 drop, and boom, turns into some crows. What do the crows do? Crows are 5 MP for 2/4 with flight and shield. After dealing damage to the enemy hero, gain +1 HP. Overall, I kind of like this duo, right? 3 MP for 1/5, not great. You definitely want to flip this more or less as soon as you can. But to get a 2/4 with flight and shield, I kind of like that. Yes, 2/4 body is not the biggest, but flight is just great to poke in some evasion. Shield, it'll be a little bit beefier that every single time this hits, it's gaining HP, so it will stick around. So if you want a nice flight unit that, sure, is not like agility and rush and all that, The crows are going to do it. Nohaimi is 4 MP for 1/7. When played, explore for combo. Combo is 1 MP, give a unit combo. After dealing damage to an enemy, deal 2 damage to a random enemy unit or hero. What's cool is she could give herself combo, right? You play it, you explore, you put combo on her, and then she, every time she attacks an enemy unit or an enemy, it deals it twice, so then that would be 4 damage to random enemy units or heroes, and that seems fantastic. And that is just a 5 MP play, so you could almost envision this being a 5 MP play that is a 1/7 with combo in all those texts, and I kind of like that a lot. I think this card is pretty good. Yes, you do have to play like, 2 cards in one and stuff like that, but this is going to be throwing around a lot of damage. Akechi is 3 MP for a 2/4. When placed on the field, destroy another random friendly unit and gain +2/+4. So this becomes a 3 MP 4/8. That is so humongous. And on the board, a 3 MP 4/8 will dominate a lot and take a lot of resources from your opponents. Black usually doesn't mind sacrificing some things here or there. Like, imagine playing this and you sacrifice your slow tyrant, it flips into a fast tyrant, and then you just have a 4/8 body on board. This seems like a very, very good unit that is extremely cheap and efficient. The imps are back this time. Looks like he's jamming on some tambourines. This is the Black Imp. It's 3 MP for a 3/5 death. The enemy hero gains 3 life. I'm off this card. I don't like this card. 3 MP for a 3/5. Yes, those are good stats. A little bit above rate, but nothing as good as what we've seen, with a couple cards. And giving your enemy hero 3 life when this dies just doesn't seem worth it. However, I will say, if Black really has some good spirit synergies, then maybe you see this. If not, I'm not playing this card. Zavi is 6 MP for a 3/6. When played, explore for corrosion. When an enemy unit dies, gain +2 HP. Corrosion's a good card. This is still 6 MP play, and corrosion you can get with cheaper units from different sets. Yes, when an enemy unit dies, you gain 2 HP, which is kind of nice, but it's still just a 3/6 for 6. I don't know. This just kind of seems clunky. I just don't particularly like it. Sorin is 3 MP for 1/7 with growth of 3, so 3 is very easy to trigger. Level 2, gain +1 attack. Okay, so it's going to become a 2/7. What's level 3? Level 3 is where it gets juicy. Give a unit with an MP cost of 5 or more in your graveyard -2 MP and return it to your EX pocket. That seems really fun, because right now I'm thinking about, maybe Ouroboros or something, giving your 6 MP play, get it back into your hand, get it to your EX pocket, and now that 6 MP tyrant is now a 4 MP tyrant. That seems like some really good value. Also, Ouroboros tends to play a lot of 6 MP units, so you play Sorin, then you just play a 6 MP unit, and you get now a 6 MP unit, now a 4 MP unit into your EX pocket. That seems kind of good, and but it is kind of clunky, because sometimes just playing these like weaker creatures just to facilitate getting these bigger creatures, sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's clunky. So I'm a little up in the air of how well this will actually play, but I am excited to test it out. Up next, we have a 4 MP 3/3 human that says death, deal 2 damage to all units. Your units, your opponent's units, doesn't matter whose, it's all dealing 2 damage. If you want that effect, this is very good. 2 damage is a lot of damage. 4 MP for a 3/3, those are not terrible stats, but those are not great. However, you really are playing this for the death effect. So if you are in the market for the death effect, this is a good card. If not, you have some other good black units to play. Mori is a 3 MP 1/5 human. When placed on the field, if there is another friendly human unit on the field, gain +1/+2. Ascend, +1 attack, and agility. I like agility. I think agility is a very strong keyword, so you definitely want to be ascending this, and this definitely wants to be in a human-centric deck. If it is a human-centric deck and you ascend this, this becomes a 3 MP, +2/+2, so 3/7 with agility. That is fantastic. fantastic. So if you can build around it, I think this will be a very good, efficient threat that hits fast and hard. If you can't really build around it, and by build around it, like you can throw ascend units in any deck, it's really the human, because if you don't have the other human, this is just a 2/5 with agility, which is actually, you know what, still pretty good. But man, I want to get all the gravy from this card. We have another imp, this time yellow imp. I guess, you know, since Teppen doesn't have a yellow color, it's just like, you know what, it gets absorbed by the black. And then, you know what, I'm okay with it. So anyways, yellow imp, it's 3 MP for a 2/4. Death, give +1 attack to a random friendly unit. 3 MP for a 2/4, I've kind of said this a lot, we see these stat lines quite often, it's pretty decent. +1 attack to a random friendly unit when it does die is nice bonus, but isn't game changing. So if you want spirits, this seems like a good one. If you don't, there's other better cards to play. Clay Drummer is 4 MP for a 2/7 spirit. We are seeing more spirits, so that is interesting and of note in black specifically. When a friendly spirit unit dies, give -2 HP to a random enemy unit. I like that, right? -2 HP is a big hit. Not extremely big, but is a impactful thing. So if you have a lot of spirits just dying left and right, Clay Drummer will be drumming on the opponent's units and just giving -2 HP left and right. Dead Fish is up next. It is 3 MP for a 1/4 zombie fish or something, not quite sure. Death, destroy a unit in front if it has 4 or less HP. I like those effects, because 4 or less HP, like that is a big gambit that this will kill, especially that it will at least deal 1 damage to that unit, or if the opponent does a removal spell or something. So I kind of like this card, and I don't think this necessarily needs to be seen just play in spirit decks, but it would be better in spirits because then you can like pair this up with Clay Drummer or something like that. So I think the fish could see some play here. Up next, we have a 6 MP 3/7 human, no more spirits right now. Death, gain 2 MP. I don't really like this card. 6 MP for a 3/7 with no keywords or effects on the board or anything is not a card I want to be playing. Yes, it's cool that you kind of get 2 of your MP back, so you could kind of see this as a 4 MP 3/7, but I still think you could probably be playing better cards overall. Katsuro is 3 MP for a 2/8, while on the field your maximum MP is now -2. So if this is a monocolor black deck, you now can only net 8 MP, not 10 MP, but that's kind of okay because you're playing a 3 MP 2/8. A 2/8 for 3 MP is such a big body, and still netting 8 MP is still a lot. Obviously, you're not really playing this in a 2-color deck because that would be too much of a hindrance, but if you're mono black and you want a small heavy hitter, well, I guess not a heavy hitter because it is 2 attack, but a 3 MP 2/8, so it will stay around for a while. This is definitely a really good card, and the downside, it goes away when this dies, and that's just fine. Nanbu is 5 MP for a 2/7. Those stats are okay, tell me more. Death, place a random spirit unit with an MP cost of 4 or less in your graveyard onto the field. Of note, this is a human, not a spirit, and this definitely wants to be playing with spirit.decks, because if you do not have spirits, you do not want to be playing a 5 MP 2/7 with no text. But we have been seeing some Dead Fish and the Clay Drummer, so I definitely think black got some spirit synergies that maybe I wouldn't mind playing this and just resurrecting them more and more and more. Okay, time to talk about the black actions, and we're of course starting off with the legendary. It is Dark Exchange is 2 MP, so very cheap. If your hero is black, they gain friendly black units gain Revenge, and when a friendly unit dies, sacrifice 1 life for 60 seconds. This card seems very, very strong. 2 MP is extremely cheap, and Revenge is such a good mechanic, and this lasts for 60 seconds, which is the longest time out of this cycle. So I definitely think you will be playing this card in a lot of black decks, and trying to be building around it to make this card be even better than it already is. Pandemonium, 5 MP, place 3 random units in your graveyard with an MP cost of 4 or less onto the field with 1 HP. This is, yes, 5 MP is kind of expensive, not super expensive, but kind of expensive. But if you could get 3 units that cost 4 or less and just fill the board with those, and yes, they are coming back with 1 HP, so they are very weak, but if they have death triggers or something like that. I'm looking at the spirits or, you know, the MP ramp zombies and stuff like that from previous sets. That could definitely be worth it. So I could definitely see this seeing some play with value units. Serpent's Revival, another 5 MP action, destroy one friendly black unit. Okay, that sounds like a downside. Return the unit in your graveyard with the highest MP cost to the field. This, my first thought is Ouroboros, because you could play Serpent's Revival on your slow tyrant and get back a devil or something. That's really good. However, this is 5 MP. 5 MP is expensive, but you could be playing this in just other black decks that have some legendaries. Looking at the art, I think you get where I'm going with this. And maybe this is just good enough in like non-Ouroboros style decks. So I don't know. I see some hope for it. 5 MP is a lot, but also the effect could be very, very big. Demonic Eater is 3 MP, destroy an enemy unit with 4 or less HP. Additionally, if a friendly unit on the field has the Ascend status, your hero gains 4 life. Okay, the Ascend status is just gravy, right? You do not need to play this with Ascend units. If you do, gaining 4 life is fantastic on a removal spell. But 3 MP to destroy an enemy unit with 4 or less HP is, I don't know, interesting. Because 4 or less HP, you know, that's a lot, right? There's units that are like 3/3s, and this could just right up destroy it. So I think you have to definitely look at the meta and be like, okay, is this better than, you know, I don't think this is better than Fate of the Unworthy. I don't think this is better than Murderous Spikes, but maybe in a meta, it potentially could be. Soul's Return is 5 MP. We're seeing a lot of 5 MP black actions. Anyways, place a random spirit unit in your graveyard onto the field. Yet again, black is really trying to hit hard this spirit synergy, and there are some good black spirits for sure, but I don't know if any are good enough to spend 5 MP to get. Maybe to get like Spider Queen back, you know, the 7 MP unit, then that's worth it. But if you're only getting like a 3 or 4 MP spirit, this doesn't really seem worth it to me. Act of Desperation is 2 MP and shows a wolf, not a very, very angry wolf. He is fighting. Give +3/+3 to a friendly unit. Unit is destroyed after 1 attack. +3/+3 is a lot, but it is the caveat of destroyed after 1 attack. So it's kind of like, you know, some Nergigante hero art, but on an action. And that can be good, right? If you want some just heavy hitter and just kind of get a lot of damage in or trade up, that's really good because +3/+3 goes a long way. And black sometimes doesn't really care about destroying some of their units because they can resurrect them, or the, you know, they revenge or a slow tyrant. And 2 MP is very cheap. So I could definitely see this being played in the right home. Not every single black deck, but in the right home. Cursed Zone is 2 MP. Give 2 random spirit units in your graveyard, -1 MP, and return them to your EX pocket. MP cost cannot drop below 1. Yet again, black is really trying to push this spirit synergy, and I'm kind of not seeing it. Cursed Zone does make me more interested, because 2 MP to get 2 spirits from your graveyard, make them 1 MP or less, and add them to your EX pocket, that does seem really good. I'm just not really seeing the spirits. The last action, and well, the last card of the new set to talk about is Creeping Darkness. This is 2 MP, destroy an enemy unit with 1 or less attack. If your deck has 15 or fewer cards in it, destroy an enemy unit with 2 or less attack. Instead, I would rather just play Murder Spike. I know Murder Spike, you do have to lose some life, but Murder Spike can be the first card you play, and it can kill Heavenly Kicks Chun-Li. Creeping Darkness cannot do that. So I would rather take the life loss than this, you know, 15 or fewer cards to jump through hoop that this card is offering you. Overall, black's got some, you know, really, really strong cards, some revenge cards, or just some cards that look extremely powerful with some actions, and some, you know, not so good cards. The one very interesting thing is this is the color that really is trying to push the spirits forward, and I think there's some good things going with the spirits, but I don't really feel this glue, right? There's some good thing here, but there's not a lot of curve filler, and usually when you have a synergistic tribe deck, you want all curve fillers, right? All spirits all the time, and I'm just not quite seeing that. But, maybe I'm wrong. I'll probably try to play out Spirits. Maybe it works a little bit better than I'm thinking, but, is what it is for now. Overall, I am excited for Black, right? Black definitely got some new powerful toys, and overall, I think most of the colors got some new powerful toys. The one that comes to my mind that maybe got the least power is Purple, but still, Purple got its new stuff, and who knows where the meta goes, right? Purple has been powerful, so maybe it doesn't need as many powerful toys, or maybe I'm not hyping up Purple enough as I should be, or giving enough credit. But I don't know. This, overall, after looking at all the cards, this set definitely seems to have some really, really powerful cards that will be finding a home in Standard, and maybe really changing how Standard and how the metagame is, which is always the hope for new cards, right? Or new sets, is that Standard feels new and fresh, because guess what? We have Worlds, the Worlds qualifier to start really, really training for. So, we looked at the cards. Now it's time to start brewing and testing out decks for Worlds. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.